I'm a 45-year-old mother of a 23-year-old son who just moved out. So I'm dealing with empty nest syndrome. And I was thinking this past week, like, if I could raise my son all over again, what would I do differently? There's so much that I would do differently. But one of the things is that I wouldn't take his behavior personally. I think when we're raising children and they're acting out, it almost feels like an attack on us. Like, why aren't you behaving for me? Because we do so much for them. We cook and clean and nurture and take care of them. We almost feel like there's obligation back, that they are obligated to behave well for us. And in a way, societal and socially, they are. This is what we expect. But because they're children, it doesn't work out like that. We have to train them how to respond and react in certain situations. We can't just expect them to focus unless we teach them how to focus. We can't expect them to behave in certain situations and do what we ask them to do unless we train them and teach them. And so we can get into a mode where we're just screaming and demanding because we're the authoritarian, right? We're the parent. We're supposed to be the one who's leading and they must follow. But when you shout and scream at your child, it sends their brain into flight, fight, freeze, or fawn mode. And that literally shuts down creativity and thinking and proper critical thinking. So when a child's nervous system is now there, it's called a SDS system, is activated, they're now in a defense mode and they literally can't hear you. So you could be screaming and screaming, they're not going to hear you. They're listening, they can hear you physically with their ears, but their brains, they can't process it. So how to get them to listen to you instead of trying to force your way, like you should listen to me because I'm your mother, because I tell you to do something. We need to be guiding them and teaching them every single day in all the moments, even in the times where they are listening to us. Because what we're doing is we're training them of who we are. As adults and human beings in general, we respond to people not because of what they say, because of who they are as people. Just think about the influencers that you follow right here on this app. We follow people not necessarily because they're the best looking, the richest, the smartest, the anything. We follow them because we like who they are. We like their personality. Something about them gels with us. And that's how children listen as well. They follow you and listen to you because of who you are, not just because of what you say. So if you're trying to push and push and push, they're just going to push back. So you need to be constantly teaching them who you are. And you do that by guiding them and disciplining them properly. I think that because a lot of us, especially my generation, I was born in 1980 and my parents were boomers. We were brought up really quite strict. It was a weird situation. Like we could like roam around the neighborhood, but then we couldn't do other things. It was quite weird. We're on our own, but then we were also we had strict parents at the same time. It's very odd. But I think a lot of us, we've pushed back on that. We're like, okay, when I have a child, we're not going to do this. And I think a lot of parents, millennials, have gone the opposite way. And there's the introduction of things like gentle parenting, which can be great, but I think what people are practicing as gentle parenting is actually passive parenting. It's not authoritative parenting, because we had dictators, a lot of us, I did, as parents, and we wanted to be away from that. We wanted our children to actually have a relationship with us, but we don't do that by being passive, and we don't do that by then suddenly exploding and yelling and trying to force our way, or just allowing them to do whatever they want. And I think a lot of parents are now stuck in between these extremes. You try the gentle parenting because you hear the theories and it sounds really good, but then you try it for a little while and it doesn't work, and then you build up with all this frustration, and then you explode, and then you end up regretting it and feeling really bad for it and thinking, gosh, I sound just like my mom. So what is the answer? The answer is to discipline without damage. We need discipline. We need boundaries. But we also want to do it from a true place of confidence and of leadership, of teaching our children that we're the leader, who we are, and we're responding to them in a way that bypasses resistance in their brain and then activates that system within them that naturally latch onto us for help and for nurturing and for care, because they know who we are, they trust us. And it's not just about love, it's about trusting, it's about their systems. Like, I can trust you, I can trust what you're saying, I can trust how you're guiding me, I can trust how you're leading me, because you've proven it day in, day out, even in the small moments. So using methods that coincide with a child's age where they are developmentally, not necessarily where they are in their physical age. Some children developmentally are younger or a bit more advanced than their physical age. So if you have a look at where your child is developmentally, and then you tailor your responses to them, where they can then respond to you, and you're constantly proving to them and showing them who you are, being a real leader, that's how relationships last. That's how you get past the power struggles. And this is what I teach. My business is called Victorious Parenting. So if you want to check me out, victoriousparenting.com. I got blogs and all kinds of different things that you can read about that as well. So now that I'm 45, I'm an empty nester, and my son is off into the world now, it's easy for me to reflect on these things. It's easy in hindsight, but I remember still vividly what it was like going through those moments. And it's really, really tough when you're sleep deprived. Your brain isn't thinking right. You're not in that right mind. You just need somebody to be there and to say, hey, it's okay. Let's walk through this step by step. And that's what I do. So if that's something that you need, you can look in my bio. You can look at victoriousparenting.com. My name is Arabella Hill. You can type me up in Google and find all of my resources, or just watch the next video.